Are you struggling to use YouTube to generate a real income, even though you've spent hours following the generic advice online, or you might even know people succeeding with less effort? I've been helping YouTubers and business owners scale their channels, both beginners and very successful creators, like Aprilyn, who's on track to earn $250,000 this year. And I can tell you right now, today these people are not posting and praying. They've discovered the right systems, are scaling teams, and are turning their channels into real and reliable income. I'm going to break down the 6 levels that I have seen firsthand to go from beginner all the way to successful creator, to show us what they do that we don't. Level 1, the struggle. Now, this is a rite of passage. You're always going to hear creators out there who have blown up overnight, but the reality is most successful YouTubers, they take years to build up a strong channel. The average creator doesn't know why anyone is not clicking on their videos, and they're very quick to get burnt out because they simply just don't understand the language of YouTube. Real quick though, if you make it to level 4, you want to check out the link in description. As for the successful creator, they are also stuck posting for months to years, struggling, figuring out what works and what doesn't. But they actually know that YouTube is a long game and they don't just give up. They make it sustainable, knowing that they're going to be in this for a long time. Moving on to the most exciting level, in my opinion, this is level 2, the breakthrough. The average creator actually puts in more effort to try and really figure out how can you make better videos. Maybe they hear that you've got to have a good thumbnail, but because they're not putting enough time and effort into learning everything that is really required, they typically end up getting in this trap where they think that they have to go viral in order to see success on the platform. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I see creators make very straight away, right off the bat, is that they start to just copy what the successful creators are doing without understanding why it works for them. And so they've got the right idea that they need to learn the language of YouTube, but they're copying the wrong things. You typically tend to see people making vlogs or even like ASMR content because they typically see that as low effort and easy to make, but it doesn't actually necessarily mean that people are interested in you and your content. This is a really weird analogy, but 4 out of 5 people who lose a significant amount of weight regain most of it back. And I think on YouTube, the average creator has a kind of breakthrough where they know they need to get better. They're just typically following the wrong advice or putting all their time and effort into kind of the wrong areas. It's not sustainable. They end up comparing themselves to others. And honestly, a lot of people just give up at this point. As for the successful creator, this is where they realize that there is no one way to succeed on YouTube, but there is a general path that statistically makes it as easy as possible for people to enjoy your content and for you to grow your channel. They also realize that the algorithm isn't just some evil overlord AI that is just out to get them and stop their channel from growing. They're able to admit that maybe their videos just aren't good, and in order to get over that, they need to actually practice by putting out more videos. They also realize that leverage is probably one of the most important parts of differentiating themselves from the rest of the market that is YouTube. If you can pull a lever that requires the same amount of effort that you were putting in over here, but that lever you pulled gives you way more results, then you should probably focus on pulling more of those levers. Things like increasing your CTR, your AVD, just to name a few. This next step is the point in your YouTube channel or business where you actually start to diverge onto a different trajectory. And it gets pretty exciting. So this is level 3, compounding your effort. If the average creator hasn't given up already, they've probably realized, okay, this is gonna take a long time, but they might get distracted by things like buying expensive equipment and posting for the sake of posting, rather than sitting down and being critical of what is actually working and what is not. They also tend to fall into a trap of wanting to do what feels creatively right to them and their feelings. Now, maybe this is a really hot take, but there are a lot of videos that feel right to us. And don't get me wrong, I think it's important to experiment with your channel. But something that really holds back most creators is that they end up making videos based off of their feelings rather than what people actually would want to consume. YouTube is called YouTube for a reason, but you have to make what I call handshake content. You have to make content that other people would actually also be interested in, rather than switching up your messaging and kind of ending up just being a starving artist. This is going to sound like a really horrible way of describing this, but it's kind of a trash in, trash out effect where we don't realize that our videos are bad or our packaging is terrible or whatever it may be, and that just keeps compounding. So you can't go up if the things you're doing are not actually delivering you results. That's why we moved to the successful creator. They actually develop a data-driven approach and follow proper proven systems. They realize that it's about working smart, not hard. And every video actually becomes a really clear and important lesson on what they should be doubling down on and what they shouldn't. They're ready to keep posting for years to come because they're committed to the platform and they know that this is going to work out. The only thing they don't know is just how long it's going to take. And that's okay. 1% improvements every week leaves you being 37 times better by the end of the year. They've also learned that they have to earn their audience back with every single video. You can't just expect them to care about you all the time. They realize how little they know about the YouTube language and they accept that. They allow themselves the room and the space to accept that they're not going to be good in the beginning because no one's good in the beginning. Alright, so you've either cottoned on to the right behavior or you're just doing more of what's not working. So this is where we reach level 4. Growth. The average creator is maybe getting to a point where they're just completely experimenting with everything that they're doing. Even if they do go viral or have a small win for their channel, they never actually stop and learn why. They get stuck in the trap of making vlogs or easy content because it feels good. They're making videos based off of emotion, not what would actually help people. As for the successful creator, this is where they start seeing a bit of growth. They now realize what they're supposed to double down on. They make content that serves a clear mission, goal, and is something that solves a problem. They're able to put themselves in their audience's shoes and be different to everyone else. They realize that YouTube isn't just about you, it's about whether everyone else would also be interested in the value of your videos. And if you don't want to make videos that people would be interested in, I don't think social media is for you. This is where the successful creator goes on to start developing a small, tight-knit community of people that are coming back to their channel and regularly commenting. And this is very, very valuable. So they've hit their first wave of growth, but how do they turn that into actual income? Shout out to all the people who have made it this far to level 5. So the average creator's been offered their first sponsorship, and this is such a massive achievement. But I do want you to keep in mind there's a lot of scams out there. A lot of average creators actually end up accepting a lot of free products at this level, but you always have fundamental worth if you are marketing another business. So don't settle for less, guys. The problem is if you are struggling to build a loyal channel, you're not really going to make much of an income from affiliate links that companies want you to put down below on your videos. But the good news is so many companies are investing right now more into micro influencers compared to the top creators. So don't fret too much. As for the successful YouTubers, this is when the opportunities start rolling in and seriously start to change your life. They start to get to negotiate brand deals, sponsorships, they get ad revenue, and they start to build up a loyal community who's actually ready to buy from them. The best part is, if you have your own business, you don't even need a large following in order to start actually funneling people into your products or services. As long as they care about how you're helping them, they're actually willing to support the underdog. You're not like these other big million-plus subscriber YouTubers yet. So don't be fooled. You do not need a large income in order to succeed on YouTube. And if you want to know one of the really powerful systems to do so, I'll show you the way to one really soon. So now, how do these budding successful creators and business owners go from amateurs to pros? This is level 6, optimize and scale. This is the stage where the average creator really struggles to let go of creative control of everything. But the only way to grow their success is to allow other people to get involved in helping them. You can't do everything in your business forever if you want to grow it. You either have to put in hours and hours of work each week figuring out how this YouTube platform works in order to succeed, or you have to pay for someone who knows how to teach you or implement it. It's like trying to learn how to speak French by just guessing how to speak French. Or you can work with someone who knows how to speak the language. As for the successful creator, they've basically figured out how to consistently bring in views and just add fuel to the fire. They understand that you should buy back your time, and having something 80% done is 100% awesome. And I'm stealing that quote from Dan Martell, but you have to be able to work with people in order to grow. They actually expand from just maybe having one editor or strategist or thumbnail designer to an actual content team. And maybe the best of all, my personal favorite, they learn how to make content that converts into actual sales for their business, not just content for the sake of it. And this inherently gives them both financial freedom and time freedom. If any of this sounded relatable to you, you're gonna need to know this system that delivers 95% of the results on this platform. In fact, it delivered a whopping $6,000 for this creator that you can check out right here.